Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Agara, or hi if you're new, especially hi to like 70 of you who've joined me in the past week, which is absolutely amazing, and hi, thank you for doubling the numbers on my channel. I hope there are more of you soon. But today it's Valentine's Day, or at least it is in the UK and most of the places in the world, and I am so sick of seeing Valentine's Day stuff all over my Instagram because I can't do that stuff for work and it's really annoying and bothers me. But I'm going to do a Valentine's Day look for you. I'm going to edit it and upload it so it goes up live on Valentine's Day. I know. Can I get this done in time? We'll see. So I'm going to get everything set up and get right started with this shit. So for primer, I'm going to use the XX Revolution Cloud Complexion Primer. It kind of smooths and blurs and all of that stuff. So I'm just going to get a little bit on my finger and I'm just going to put some on. Today's going alright. I mean, I know I'm running late, but I just couldn't have any, I didn't have any idea what to do. And then Ross came in with an idea and he knows how much I love to be bright and colourful, so here we are. This primer is more of a, it doesn't say what it does on the bottom, but it's more of a smoothing primer, kind of evens everything out, which is sometimes what I really need. But I'm also going to add a bit of the Body Collection Illuminating Primer because this is actually quite illuminating and the foundation that I've got this week is quite matte. So I'm going to get a little bit of this on my fingers and I'm just going to in the middle. Now at the moment my skin isn't particularly dry because I did actually remember to moisturise this afternoon after I had a shower. I went shopping first. I wanted to get that done before I did anything else. And so yeah, my skin's alright. I've actually looked after my hair. I'm actually going to do my hair in a bit as well, probably, if I remember. But yeah, that is all of that blended in. And you can see it gives my skin a nice little bit of a glowy look, which is nice. It's what I need sometimes. Foundation, I have got the Collection Lasting Perfection, which is a matte foundation. I know, I am ridiculously stupid trying this out. But my skin is kind of normal at the moment, so I'm wondering whether a matte foundation can be the worst thing. And sometimes matte foundations aren't terrible. So, I haven't actually used this yet, so that's what it looks like, one pump. Hopefully this actually matches me, so I'm going to get a bit on my sponge. Do I have a mirror to hand? I had a mirror to hand. I've got one out. No, I didn't. There we go. Now I've got a new sponge and everything, so there's no cross-contamination of any product. Okay, that is really pretty. That matches me really well. So I've got the shade, doesn't say, is it on the lid? Ivory 3, because I thought that like a better match to me than any of the others when I ordered it online. One day I'll remember to actually clip my hair out my face, but today's not that day. I'm getting a little bit more on my sponge, just to see how this builds, because I'm curious right now. So, what are your plans for Valentine's Day? I'm going for a walk and eating some steak because there's not much we can do in the UK now we're in lockdown. Well, we're still in lockdown. But we're a month in, we're kind of used to it now. Well, I'm kind of used to it. So yeah, base is, well, foundation is on. Concealer, I'm going to use a bit of Collection Lasting Perfection just because they work together, or should work together, and a bit of the Fenty concealer if I need it, so, because you know, sleep is everything and I don't always sleep the best. Well, that brightens up my under eyes. Oh shit, I was going to do my eyes first. Oh well. Then I add a little bit of Fenty just under my eyes. Just a touch, because this is it's a very matte concealer. I look a bit more awake now, right? And I'm going to add a little bit of cream contour using the Fenty Match Stix. I'm using the shade Amber. Now I personally like to blend stuff like this in with a brush rather than my sponge, just so then I don't like dirty up my sponge. Then I'm going to dip into a little bit of this Revolution highlighter, just with the tip of my sponge. This is one of those jelly highlighters. I'm just going to use my viewfinder just to dab this along the high points of my face. It doesn't really want to pick up on my sponge. I'm not the biggest fan of jelly highlighters, but I have it and I don't want to bin it is the thing. because I used it a while back, and you can't really put stuff like that in the up for sale or get rid of it or pass it on to somebody else. I feel bad doing that, but it does add a nice little glow. So I'm going to powder down using this, the lovely Fenty Beauty loose powder. I have it in the shade Butter, and that is way more than I need. So I'm going to get my little brush, swirl it all around and just set everything in place, because quite frankly my face needs it right now, because it is just a mess. I'm not going to set my eyes because I have a plan. I know my plans never go well, but we're here, aren't we? Now I've got a challenge to put to all of you. Since you've made me gain 70 subscribers in the last week, and as I'm filming this I'm on 121, do you think we can get me to 150 by, you know, next weekend? Because I would love it if we could. It would be so cool. Because getting a channel to grow is such hard work, and seeing the growth makes me genuinely so happy, knowing that not only is my channel being appreciated, but it means that I'm actually getting out there and people are actually seeing my content, which is really cool. Bronzer, I'm going to use the KVD Shade and Light palette, as you can see. I love this packaging. So I'm going to use this shade and this shade, and I know it's more of a contoury palette, but I bought it when it was still Kat Von D, and then I stopped using it for ages, and I know makeup goes off and I just want to, I really like this stuff. I do just want to use it up, mainly because it's good, which is why I didn't bin it when the whole KVD drama went down in the first place. Get that right in the hairline because, you know, pale people problems. I'm going to leave that there before I cock it up even more, because that's what I'm good at. And I'm going to go with a bit of Bare Minerals blush because I love this blush. It's just such a nice peachy colour. A corally colour. Nicely brush. So I do just load it up, and let's just use my viewfinder because why not? A little bit on the top of my nose because I've got a slightly weird nose shape. I'm not sure if you can notice that, but I'm just not a big fan of it. Like, I don't want to change it, I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I should stop putting blush on because it's going to add too much. I haven't got a highlighter out. I know, who am I? What have I done with Meg? So I'm going to quickly go and fill in my brows. I'm going to be right back to do everything else and make something really kind of cool looking. I have an idea of what I'm doing, which is more than I did about 10 minutes ago when I started looking on Instagram. So I'm going to make sure that my eyeballs are actually not set down. I'm going to add a little bit of the P. Louise base, as per usual. I make such a mess with everything, but oh well. So I've got the BeautyBay palette with NikkiTutorials BeautyBay palette and the Carnival Volume 3 palette. Like, these two are massive. But I think I'm first going to use this lovely palette because it's massive and it's got so many pretty colours in. I've got an idea of what I want to do, but it doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to actually achieve it. I'm not using this palette, I'm just going to use it as a mirror because it's a nice size for a palette. And I mean, it can fit my entire face in it. Look, you can see my ring light. So first of all, I'm going to use Pink Lily, which is this pink just here, on a pencil brush. I'm just going to mark out where my crease is and what shape I want, because I'm not the neatest person. There's no point denying that. I mean, I always have one eye that misbehaves, or I lose track of things and my brain goes off on 7 different directions. So I've got kind of a nice crease line going around there. So I'm going to use Fruity, which is this purpley pinky colour down the bottom, just to deepen it all up. I'm also kind of mapping out the shape of how I want my eyeshadow to sit. just because otherwise I know, again, I'm going to cock it up. Next I'm going to use Grape, which is this dark purple over here by my thumb. On the same brush, I know. I'm going to focus this more in the crease itself, mainly because I can blend this out later and add to it. Now I'm going to get a flat brush, like this one, and I'm going to use that Grape colour just to pack onto my outer corner. Now with that same brush I'm going to use a bit of Blackberry, which is this purple right down in the bottom corner, and I'm gently going to put this right on the outer corner of my eye and just pack that right in there, and then add it a little bit to the wing because it needs to be blended together, it needs to really work together. And I do have really weirdly shaped eyes. And add a little tiny little bit of that just to the right of the outer corners of my lower lash line. And so just to kind of bring it all together like this and hope that my plan will work. Now I've got a clean blending brush and I'm going to use this pinky colour up here called Lilac. I'm going to load my brush up. I'm just going to go over all the edges to make sure everything's blended and everything's nice and everything's uniform. Now I'm going to get my concealer, just because it's my concealer and it's easier to apply. Get a bit on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to use a Fenty one because that's the one that's out. So I've got my concealer brush. I'm going to carve out a cut crease in the shape of a heart. Now the whole thing of this is you can only see the heart when my lid is shut, and I am going to neaten it up afterwards. I'm kind of hoping it's a heart shape. If not, it's going to be a bit embarrassing, but no well. You win some, you lose some. This one's definitely turned out better than this one. Bearing in mind I've never done this before, I saw it on Instagram and wanted to give it a go. So I'm going to get the rest of that concealer off my hand just because I know it's going to get in my nice fluffy jumper otherwise, and it's really warm. And what shade? I'm going to go in with this stunning pink just here from the BeautyBay palette with NikkiTutorials. So I'm going to get this on my finger to start with, and I'm just going to press that. I'm going to neaten this up in a minute with my brush, don't worry. It's just to get the basics down because I know it applies best with my finger. While this might look like the same brush, it is an identical brush. It's just not my concealer brush. And this way I can get it really nice and precise. Now I'm going to try and be really clever and do some magic eyeliner stuff, and I'll be right back with you because I don't know how long this is going to take. I have got lashes on. I've done my top eyeliner, well my eyeliner and my lashes and the top of mascara. So I'm going to get around to finishing this off because I've been filming for like 2 hours now. So for the lower lash line I'm going to go with a few of the pinks from here on that original pencil brush because I can always blend it out. So I'm going to go in with a bit of Fruity for this pink down here. I'm just going to run that towards the middle of my lashes, and a bit of Pink Lily along there as well, just like that. And then for the inner corner I'm going to use, actually I'm going to use this nice little fluffy brush. I'm going to use a bit of Tahiti and Lilac in there. Now for lashes I've used Unicorn Cosmetics lashes in Forget Me Not, just because they're kind of small and fluffy, they're not too overwhelming, I think is the right word. And I'm just going to use a bit of the Revolution mascara just to sort out my lower lash line because it needs sorting out just a little bit. I don't want to over too much, but kind of overdo it. And for highlighter I'm going to use the Ofra Cosmetics with NikkieTutorials highlighter. This one is in Cloud 9, it's kind of pinky one. I thought it would go really well with kind of pinky look. So I'm just going to add that and get that stray hair off my brush Don't worry, it's one of mine, not one of the brushes. Just because it's such a pretty highlight. I mean, Ofra do such beautiful highlighters, and I saw the one that Steph's releasing with Ofra, and I am wanting that so much just because she knows how to do highlighter. Well, she loves highlighter, and Ofra know how to do highlighter, and that's just a match made in heaven. So I'm going to put this in all the important places. I like to put it on the tip of my nose just to kind of make my nose look cuter than it is. I'm going to use a little bit of this on my inner corners. And brow bone. Now for lipstick, I'm going to use this Maybelline Superstay ink crayon in Lead the Way. It's just a nice little crayon. Get the mirror back out. I really like these because these work as lip liners as well as lipsticks, and you can roll them down and stuff. I'm going to add a little bit of the Fenty gloss in Fenty Glow, like this. So I'm going to sort my hair out and I'll be back with you for how this final look is going. So my hair is done and it's nice and curly, and I just love it curly because it just looks so much thicker, and I'm looking forward to having layers put in it, so it kind of looks a bit more impressive. There's more curl up here. But that is for when lockdown is over and I am fully vaccinated, because I'm only half vaccinated at the moment. But I'm hoping you like this video. If you have, get a big thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's get me to 150. I'll try. So thank you, and I'll see you again on Friday or maybe Tuesday for another lovely video. Bye!